Hello everyone, my name is Sharan Patil. Already my friend has given introduction about me. I'm the founder of a company called Inspire India Wealth. Little bit I want to talk about, today my subject is about middle class revolution. Today we have seen that India is one of the biggest population country in the world. If you see that once upon a time India's population was a burden. Today if you see that India's population is a major asset, in that segment if you see that demographic dividend benefit at the middle class, India's today middle class is almost 35 crores. Today I'm just talking about that last my 17 years. So I just want to share my experience, that I born in a very, very humble middle class family. At the age of 4 years, I lost my father. After, in a middle class family, when a earning member passed away, how the whole family suffers. That's my own experience. I learned that. It took almost 15 years to recover from that type of, financial situation. Whenever a main person, earning member passed away in the family, the two types of losses. One is emotional loss, another one is economical loss. We are all, lost some, closed one in our life. But what happened is after over a period of time, we overcome that emotional loss. But economical loss is the one thing which is very, very, critical. In my case, with the great support of my two elder brothers, I completed my education in one of the government school, a place called Gulbarga. So after finishing my education, I was always aspiration to do big in life. So that was made me to come to Bangalore. Fortunately, I got a lot of financial support to do my education. I've done my aircraft engineering. But today I'm just talking about wealth and middle class. They were nowhere related to my previous industry where I worked as an aircraft engineer. After completion of aircraft engineering, I was thinking that my life is going to change because going to get a good job working in airlines industry, but unfortunately, it's not like that. 2000, you all see that World Trade Center attack, lot of people lost job. And after that, from Bombay, I moved to Bangalore. In Bangalore, I got into IT industry thinking that IT industry is going to do very well. But again, I've seen lot of back-to-back failures. After aviation failure, I've seen IT bubble burst. So these are the two things, made me to realize that, as a middle class, we always taught us if you do very well in education, if you get a good graduation, if you get a good marks, always your life is settled. But in my case, it was not that. So after struggling in many ways, finally, I got into financial industry, not by choice, by chance. But, it has previously, I had my own learning that, I got an opportunity to read one book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So that has changed my life. When I read that book, where Robert is talking about how the typical middle class get into the rat race, how we should understand about assets and liabilities, how to understand the cash flow, and also need to understand about the, the rich people, why they keep on becoming rich, why the poor becoming more poorer, and middle class is always, not udar, not either. That was the situation I've seen. So that book really inspired me to get into the financial industry. In 2008, with that, motivation, with some of my family, friend, they funded me to start a company called Inspire India Wealth. But when I started with the company, one thing I realized that, after studying 15 years of education, I didn't have any knowledge about finance. So I come from a middle class where I realized that we have a limited source of income, but we don't know how to manage the money. So with that, the first thing we started is, let us start the educating people about the investment. That is how my journey started. So started conducting a lot of seminars. Initially, there were a lot of resistance. But in spite of that, we are continuously working. And I got associated with one of my friend and mentor. He's a life coach. With him, we started conducting a lot of programs in Bangalore. When we conducting a programs in Bangalore, we initially thought about doing a lot of programs in English. But, finance field is, one segment of the people are, who are not that much comfortable in English language. We started in a regional language in Kannada. Entire finance subjects, we made it in a very simple language, practical way. We started educating them. Over a period of time, we started getting a good response. After getting the good response, people, we started doing some sort of wealth checkup where we got a lot of, suggestions from the qualified people. But we all see that, 2008, when we started talking about the security market, equity market, there was a big market crash, subprime crisis happened, market corrected by 60%. Imagine a guy who was struggling, got into the financial industry, trying to do something, do well, but after that 60% crash was made the entire, the whole entire platform was shaken on that time. But in spite of that, the clarity was very clear. We wanted to create wealth, we had to think about long term. Normally, we have seen a common behavior in the most of the middle class. Because why I'm talking middle class is, there are three segments. One is as per the Robert Kiyosaki, poor, middle, and rich. Poor, always the government is always there to take care of giving the free education, free health care, free food. There is always government to take care of that. Today, you've seen in India, that's always the segment which is poor, is always taken care by the government. The rich people have that, so much of knowledge and experience and also the infrastructure to take care of their wealth. But nobody is there to take care of the middle class. Even though there are institutions in India who are taking care of the wealth of the middle class, but unfortunately, they're all busy in selling the product. Nobody is trying to understand the need of a middle class. So as an Inspire India, we thought about we'll not represent any manufacturers or any product sellers, let us represent our investors. That is how the journey started. So after conducting a lot of seminars, doing a lot of one-to-one counseling, we got a lot of good response from our investors. So today, when we started this, a lot of challenges we have faced. One is, of course, investment, volatility challenges will be there. Apart from that, definitely a lot of people are telling, why you are getting into such a slow process where it takes so much of time. Better you start selling something, you can make more money. But dear friends, my intention is not making money for myself. My intention is to create wealth for the segment where I have experienced the hardship. That was my whole thing. So the continuously journey completed almost 17 years today. So in that 17 years today, I'm able to educate directly, indirectly through media, sometimes public audience, the more than 30 to 40,000 people till now. Second one is, out of that, we did a one-to-one counseling, more than 10,000 people. In that, today, there are 6,000 people are directly associating with our organization. Today, I must tell you that today, managing what quantity wealth we are managing, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm talking about, with this journey, what we have achieved. So in this journey, we have got, a lot of people, from school teachers to, some company CEOs, some of the auto driver to, owner of, one car dealership. All these people are our investors. So majorly, it's a retail segment. So we try to understand their investment needs. Instead of product selling, we try to understand the goal-based investment. That is the major key areas. And also, we try to make them in case, when middle-class families earlier used to be joint families. When the joint families were there, there was always a financial supporting system was there. Today, joint families has become nuclear families. I used to make a fun, earlier joint families means, chacha, chachi, brothers, sisters, all used to together. So today's modern world, joint families is, husband, wife, one dog, and one kid. That is the joint families. So that's a very important point. What I'm trying to tell you is here, when any things, unfortunate thing happens in the family, how the middle class family should manage their wealth. That is a very crucial and critical point as an Inspire India doing. And today we are able to see lot of successful stories. And more than that, as an Inspire India, we started another one very great movement called financial freedom. Dear friends, we all know that 1947, we got, independence. It was a political independence. We got, we can select our own govern, we can do our own, selection of the leaders and everything. But today, after 77 years, India is still struggling to get a financial freedom. But according to me, if you don't have a financial freedom, only you have political freedom, it is incomplete freedom, according to me. So what is financial freedom means? Financial freedom is you have a time, you also have a money. Today, as India, we have seen a lot of, youngsters, they want to retire early. We call it as a fire. But, to retire early, You need to plan at the beginning of your career, because that's very, very important, crucial. As an Inspire India, we started as a movement because India has got an abundance talent, but unfortunately, we got into debt traps, we get into the rat race. We are not able to encash our talent because of the financial circumstances. So as an Inspire India, we have seen a lot of successful stories. There are a couple of stories I have to share with you. There are investor, who has been a helicopter engineer, become a sustainable home, developer. His passion is to get into the sustainable home. From helicopter to he become a sustainable home developer. There are investors who are, they started their career as a doctor. Today he become one of the very passionate wild photographer. There are investors, who are profession is, again IT. Today he is one of the, teaching profession. He selected because his teaching is the passion. See, if you want to do what is most passionating in your life, you should have a financial freedom. Then only you are able to do. So as an Inspire India, till now we have created such a many more successful stories. The best part is, today our investors, without borrowing money, they are able to send their children abroad for higher education. Today we are able to see that a lot of people, prepare, buying a house without taking the, bigger loan. That's the things we have made it change. So what we are understood is one idea, what we are thinking about is, start with the segment of middle class. Second one is the educating the middle class. Third one is educating in the financial industry is very, very important. Fourth one is hand-holding is very important, because education, once you do it, it only helps for some time. But in last 17 years, we are hand-holding a lot of our investors in our journey. With this, today we are having a team of 30 people, managing actively portfolios around 6,000 people. Today also we are slowly expanding into the other smaller cities like Hubli, Tumkur, Belgaum, Gulbarga. These are the places we are focusing. The idea is not, creating the wealth for the organization. The idea is creating the wealth for our investors, fulfilling their financial goals, and more than that, we want to do it, change in the society. Because if in the society, if people are having a good amount of wealth, and also they should know how to manage the wealth. Because I have to tell you one example. Today in America, average person in America is having a minimum 4 credit cards. So India is also slowly getting into that, spending economy. The spending economy is good for the country, but spending economy is also should come with the responsibilities. We should have enough savings and enough investments. So today we have seen India is 4th largest economy. It's going to be soon 3rd largest economy. When we are seeing India is growing, if Indians are not growing, it's an imbalanced economy. According to me, if country has to grow along with the population, and especially middle class also should grow, then only the whole country can prosperous and we can make it as a most powerful country in the world. That's all from my side. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad.